When you're feeling these feelings, how do you then bounce back and get back to being Jay-Z?
I don't know. This is the first thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
Actually, it was just like, all right, man, we played enough defense. 2026 is all offense.
I would have dug into so much detail right there. There's so many things that we want to know. There's so many questions. There's so much conspiracy around his name.
Everything in your life, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you.
Everything that's happening in your life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. So what exactly was your name coming up around the Epstein files? What did that do for you? Or your name being attached to Diddy?
I'm energized, women lie, on God, numbers don't. Started talking power moves, that's right, when she got close.
It's Young, the one who do it. Numbers don't lie, that's the movement. Now let's get to it. Jay-Z is about to break his silence. He's going to address Tony Buzbee, all the accusations. You know that he got that whole concert coming up for the Reasonable Doubt anniversary in June. So let's see what it do.
How would you rate your 2025? Like looking back on the last year?
It was hard, really hard. I was like heartbroken.
Really?
Yeah, I'm glad we got right to that, so we could just get that out the way.
Okay.
Like I was really heartbroken by like everything that occurred, with all like, we in the space now where it's just like, almost like consequence is not thought about enough. So everything is so instant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like that whole Buzbee.
The civil lawsuit that was dropped, dismissed.
That shit took a lot out of me. I was angry. I haven't been that angry in a...
I wonder if he's going to address the elephant in the room. Were you friends with P. Diddy? Are you friends or you just industry friends? That's the first thing I'm asking, bro. Were you really friends with him? Like, you going to sit down and ask these questions? You got to ask the right questions. Don't just be a Glazer.
Long time. Uncontrollable anger. Like, you don't put that on someone. Like, that's the thing that you better be super sure. It used to be like that. Like, you have to be super sure before you put those kind of things on a person. Especially a person like me. Like, even when we were doing the worst things, we were doing bad, we had those kind of rules.
What's the type of worst things what worst things was y'all doing when y'all was doing the worst things? That would be my question. Look at this kid. He just smiling at him. He got the New York hat on. He got on the Timbs. He just a fan. He picked out any random fan who's just going to be happy to be in his presence. Like, oh, snap, I got the Jay-Z interview.
There was a line, no women, no kids. You hear those sayings, but those are things that I took from the street. Morals, integrity, code. Those things I took because we lived and died by that. So it's strict.
Man, he just out here finishing his sentences and all that. Like a happy wife. This is crazy work. I have wild questions to ask, especially being from New York. I gotta know, Jay, you're not about to duck and dodge right now, man.
Big for me, like it meant a lot to me. I took that really hard, and I knew that we was gonna walk through that. We was gonna walk through that because first of all, it's not true, and the truth is, at the end of the day, it still reigns supreme.
When you're feeling these feelings, how do you then bounce back and get back to being Jay-Z?
I don't know. This is the first thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
Actually, it was just like, all right, man, we played enough defense. 2026 is all offense.
I would have dug into so much detail right there. There's so many things that we want to know. There's so many questions. There's so much conspiracy around his name.
When we first dropped Reasonable Doubt, we sold 34,000 records. We were in like at MTV, like, give us a performance in the last slot.
Yeah.
And they were like...
So they went from all that heavy, dark shit, all the rape allegations, the Tony Buzbee situation, talking about his street past life and how certain things happen in the streets when you're doing terrible things, to talking about Reasonable Doubt and celebrating it. That's kind of odd.
It reminds me of an old Kanye quote of something he said about you. When he said, with Jay, you always see the win. What do you think he meant by that?
I think that showed
Yo, this kid, I ain't gonna lie, he got some corny questions. Why would you ask him something that Kanye said? When you get Kanye on an interview, you can ask Kanye what Kanye thought when he was saying certain things. Why ask Jay-Z that? He don't know.
The entire picture,
Mm-hmm.
from You Must Love Me to Regrets to, you know, Soon You Understand. But the wins are so big that I can see where that can dominate a person's memory. You forget the losses.
Yeah. Or the perception.
Yeah, or that becomes the perception that it's
Right.
only wins. And then I do say, I will not lose.
Well,
So
I
I
was
could
gonna-
add to the perception as well.
I was going to say,
We gotta talk about the loss though, man. If we're gonna be saying that it's all about the wins, what about Nas, bro? You lost badly during that joint. And what about the times that you ducked dudes like Jadakiss and shit like that? See, this is why you gotta have the right person interviewing, because this is terrible. This is literally a child. I don't even know if he was alive at the time that some of this music was out. Look at it. Look at his body language. He's literally a groupie. I'm asking you, yo, why you ain't want to battle Jadakiss? Was you scared of Jadakiss? Did you feel like Jadakiss was a better lyricist than you? Did you think it was gonna turn into some street shit? Why did you push it off to state property and let Beanie Siegel handle it and all state property and all of them dudes get on the radio and bang it out? Why did you not handle that yourself? Were you scared of DMX? Did you think it was gonna go up and elevate? Why did you never do a versus with DMX? Because it's all this talk about winning, but we know if you from New York, you know that Jay-Z ducked a lot of smoke. He ducked a lot of smoke. And Nas was the only one that you really, really wanted, that you really went head up at, and you lost. Let's keep it a buck.
is that something you continue to apply? Like,
Yeah.
when, God forbid, something goes wrong,
Yeah.
don't freak out. We can.
It's not even God forbid when something goes wrong. Something goes wrong. Everything in life happens for your greatest good.
I'm starting to believe DMX when he was saying that Jay-Z was scared of competition. I'm really starting to believe a lot of the people in the industry that was saying Jay-Z is afraid of competition and he's very protective of his image. Because right now we're not getting a real story. We're just getting some real like PR type. I don't know, man. This shit trash.
Everything. I had to not get a deal in order to become who I am today. It didn't feel like the greatest blessing of all. It was the greatest blessing that I didn't get a deal. Right? So again, everything in your life, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you.
When you
Don't
Everything that's happening in your life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. So what exactly was your name coming up around the Epstein files? What did that do for you? Or your name being attached to Diddy and all the pictures and videos and information shared, then you actually having real lawsuits that was filed. What did that do for you? If everything in life is happening for you, not to you. It must mean that you must be doing something for those things to happen. I'm reading in between the lines.
skip over that.
yeah,
It's not happening to you, it's happening for you.
so
You just got to know the distinction. Everything is just how you relate to it. There's no good or bad. Shit happens.
Oh, no. Anytime I hear somebody say that, bro, there's no good or bad. That right there is scary when you hear people say that. What do you pray to? Who do you pray to? What do you believe in? What is your moral compass? I'm going crazy if I'm in this interview. I probably won't make it. Because I don't know if niggas is paid to not say certain stuff. And if you say certain stuff, then it's your life. I don't know. Because this sounds wild. There's no good or bad. I had to cut that right there. That's crazy. No good or bad? So there's a lot of questions I can ask beyond that. So then you probably think Epstein's not bad.
Life.
when did you reach that acceptance of that concept, though?
I read a lot of books earlier, Seed of the Soul, Celestine Prophecies, and, all these different books. And I was picking up all these gems and jewels on the way. But I was also 26 when I came in, and I lived a lot of life in those 26 years. Marcy to Trenton, New Jersey, to Cambridge, Maryland.
All right, so the books is what shaped Jay-Z. So some man wrote a book, and he believed in whatever that man said. That's what I have to look at that. And I don't know if that's a high level of intellect. I always have a problem with people that are atheists. I don't know if Jay-Z is, but I'm like, what could your world look like when you actually have that perception of the world, that you weren't really created and you just are here by chance? You know what I'm saying? Or what could your brain look like when you think the best thing to do is just read what other men have said that has there's no God involved? Because you can't have good and bad. You can't say that there's no good and bad if you believe in God. You have to understand that there's good and bad. There's something inside of you that screams to something being good or bad. I think every human, every soul has that. That's what I believe. And if you don't, I already know what type of side you on. You're not on the side I'm on.
To Newport News, Virginia. I met all sorts of people, been in all sorts of situations. And I came out without a scratch. Never been to jail.
3 shots never touched me.
3 shots never touched me. I came out unscathed. It was very rare. And I was always curious after that. Once you reach that part, like I've had the living, and now I'm like, man, why did that happen? I'm always questioning, like, why did that?
So, that tells me a lot too. You know what I mean? Me being from New York, me being in the streets, involved in stuff and like that. When someone says they never got touched, they got out without a scratch, never went to prison, I usually know that person has done a lot of things, man. Done a lot of things, like he said, seen a lot of things, lived a lot of life. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you want to move to a positive place. It's just like, I know, and I'm smart enough now to not get caught up with nothing. I'm grateful for that, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to live a better life or even care about people. You might actually have a complex like you're above people. It's a possibility, man. This interview, I don't know. It just doesn't, it makes me feel like he's so separated from the regular person. This is all being done for his own purposes, trying to clean his name. And let's just see what this Yankee Stadium performance look like.
That word comes from a real space. And I want to eliminate all those type of words for us.
Yeah.
Yes. So the answer to that is yes.
When you're on a mission to eliminate words like allow, like you said, do you feel like that makes you a target sometimes from
Oh yeah, for sure.
setting a mold or leading a charge for like what the successful black man is allowed to do and like breaking these spaces, breaking these confines?
Yeah. I even want you to take that out of your vocabulary.
Take what?
Allowed. You know what I'm saying? We're not allowed to do anything. In order for someone to allow you, they have to have authority over you.
So, again, it sounds like Jay-Z doesn't believe in God. He doesn't believe that God has authority over the world, Jesus, however you identify God. I believe that we have to believe, if there's a creator, that there is someone who has supreme authority over everything. That this shit is not just happening by accident. But there's a lot of people that believe, they're like, I'm God. God is me. God is inside of me. Now, God is inside of you, but you are not God. It even says it in the Bible. Ye are gods. You can channel God. You can also channel the devil. It's what you allow. It is what you allow. And then once you allow something, that does have authority over you. If that makes sense. But Jay-Z doesn't believe in that.
No one has authority over us. We exist like everyone else here. No one can allow us to do anything. But that word comes from a real space. And I want to eliminate all those type of words for us.
Yeah.
Yes. So the answer to that is yes.
When you're on a mission to...
See, that to me is a scary statement. You want to eliminate anything that has authority over all of us. That's weird, man. And it really makes me wonder why this interview wasn't taken on none of the other huge platforms that have been begging for a Jay-Z interview. he could have definitely did this with a person that's closer to his age, knows the background.
Eliminate words like allow, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that makes you a target sometimes from?
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. What's the Nipsey thing? Pray for me, y'all. One day I'm gonna have to pay for these thoughts. Real niggas is extinct. It ain't safe for me, my dog. These are real fucking lyrics.
You've come back to that a lot in the last few years. Like the more reveal me, the more they will kill me. Stuff like that. When you say they, like who is that?
Whatever the threat to, however the system is set up to keep things at status quo and keep us in a position of using words like allow. So anyone that's culpable in creating the system that we operate under, that's they.
Yeah.
That's they. And it actually goes beyond color.
Yeah.
Because I've encountered that a lot. Where it was just like, okay, this successful black man make it. Let me go to him.
Yeah.
And for help. And they're like, you don't fuck with no rap shit.
Oh wow.
Not like out like that, but you know,
that's the energy.
Like the energy. It's like you see the energy.
Yeah.
You know?
I was thinking about how you described last year as being angry and for the first time in a while. Yeah. I wondered what it felt like to be pulled back into that feeling and how you pulled yourself out or how you leaned on the people around you.
Yeah.
I've been saying to pull you
I
out.
needed the people around me more than ever. Because usually when I have that feeling, I would just make music and just be therapeutic. I'll be able to, I bloat it out.
Yeah.
And I would be like, you know, I'll move on. I had to sit in that for a long time. And luckily I had that. And again, I built this this circle that's really safe for me of people that really love me, not using me, and like, you know, really care for my best interests. So I was able to have that in the time, you know, the most crucial time for me.
Yeah.
Especially people that were close to me. And I'll explain. So like, you know, when those type of things happen, people run. They don't care what happened. They don't care. It's like, save yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
That sounds almost like what he did to Diddy. That's crazy. That is crazy. What he's explaining right now out his mouth is literally what happened to Diddy when he went through his situation. He ran. He got as far away as possible. But look what happened. Look what became a result of you disappearing on somebody that we know you was close to. You can say whatever you want, but history shows you was close to Diddy, man. It's like, it's a wild thing that none of these people want to talk about each other when things go bad. And then they have like this, they have like notes written to almost say all the same things. It's like it's a script. Everybody's sticking to the script. Oh, didn't Jay-Z have a song? Money over, stick to the script. We cop, we flip, we re-up, get back. Yeah, he did have that.
So I have partners, you know, I've had big deals with, I called my guy from LVMH, hey man, this is coming, and I can't get rid of it. I can't take a settlement.
Yeah.
It ain't in my DNA. First of all, I had to tell my wife, let's just back up.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't even in me. I know what this is the weight that this is gonna bring on our family. I can't do it. The makeup, I would die. It would have been cheaper, yes. Cheaper, quicker, move on with your life. It was like a testament because people know me. Like, I know who you are, and that's impossible. And not only we standing by you, but what do you need?
Yeah. What did you kind of do to come back from that personally or emotionally, I guess? I'm
still working with that. That's a great question. I'm still dealing with that.
This has been an interesting interview. I don't think I learned a thing from this interview. Because all I learned is that Jay-Z knows how to dodge questions and say a lot of things that don't sound like anything. He's very, very good at that. He's very skilled. And there was people that was questioning if Jay-Z wrote that letter in a response to Tony Buzbee, I absolutely 100% believe that he wrote that letter. Might have had help, but I believe he wrote that. And I think this is what happens when you get this much money. I'm not hating on nobody. And I don't want anyone to be like, yo, why we always hating on the black people? I just think it's money. I don't think it's a color. I think when we get to a certain amount of money, because a lot of that comes from greed, that is a hard thing for a human to actually deal with. It's a hard thing for a human to navigate. Because you don't know all of the things they had to do to get to that level of status. They say the love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. Not money is the root of all evil, but the love of money is the root of all evil. So if you just fall in love with money and make it your God, make it your idol, everything negative, everything evil, you open yourself up to all that follows with that. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Do y'all really think that Jay-Z's an Illuminati and he's running this secret society? He's tapped in with Epstein? Or do you just believe that everyone blows this out of proportion and he's just a rapper that made it and he's next to a lot of people that do some weird things and his name just got thrown into the bucket? What y'all think? Y'all let me know down in the comments. And make sure y'all like, make sure y'all subscribe. We on our way to 10K.
Men lie.
Women lie.
Numbers don't lie.
Make sure y'all go get y'all NDL hoodie, man. Get all y'all NDL apparel. I'm gonna drop the link. Y'all see the joint right here. We got the good maroon joint. You see the established 2014 for y'all that know. Numbers don't lie.